Hi, my friends. It's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, a big welcome back. I'm glad you guys are here for another episode. This is going to be a short one again. I haven't worked on a lot of projects. I just primarily worked on one because, well, I want to get it done so that I can work on my other project with those needles that are currently being used. So I'm actually using the natural daylight right now. I hope you guys are doing well wherever you're at. We are in the midst of constant snow and cold chilliness here in the Midwest end of the Michigan. And it is a whopping 20 degrees Fahrenheit right now, which is actually warm compared to how it's been past couple days. Monday, this is great news is for those of you that have been with me for a bit, our sheep are doing good. They made it through the really cold day. Actually, it was more like a night into day that was really cold. Overnight, it was, I think, -4 Fahrenheit. It got pretty cold, and they are tough little cookies. They didn't spend as much time outside as they usually do. They were in their hut most of the time, but like I said, their hut is like 3 3/4 sided, so it's 3 sides and it has 3/4 covered. So there's like a doorway, and there was some snow that got in the front there, but for the most part, they stayed together and they were fine. They were happy as could be, and I'm so grateful. It was difficult to hike down there and back. That cold air is brutal. Um, but that's the exciting news. The sheep are doing great. The chickens are doing good. So we have some bantams. I think I mentioned this in the past video. We have some bantams, and they laid eggs. Like, they have laid eggs in this freezing cold. They've been laying eggs, and our full-size chickens haven't. I don't know if you know bantams are these teeny tiny chickens. It's crazy. Anyway, that's more life update end of things. I usually share that at the end, but I just kind of wanted to share that right now if you're compelled to do so. There is all kinds of snow going on outside right now, big fluffy flakes. We've got a good, I think we're definitely getting close to probably around 2 feet of snow that we've received total in the past couple days. So it's been semi-gradual, but it comes down in like 6-inch increments, and it's just been so cold that it doesn't, and then there's blowing. So you get nice, nasty little drifts going on. But yeah, winter. Winter is here, and I I don't mind cold, but if it's gonna be snowing like this, like, I do prefer, and I know this might be contradictory to some what you might think, but I'd actually prefer it stays in the 20s because we're gonna have some fluctuation that gets into the 30s, and the problem is once you get over that melting point, that's where we get some problems because we have really frigid evenings, and a lot of the salt now is starting to melt the snow, which it hadn't in the past couple days, but now it is. And so you're getting that slushy, slick, and if that freezes because of the temperature dropping, I think you can put two and two together as to why I wouldn't like that. But yeah, is what it is. All right, so we will get into works in progress. I don't have really much for shop update end of things that's new. Yeah, I don't really have anything new for shop update. I'm trying to think there's some projects I'm working on now, but I don't really know if I want to talk about it quite yet because it's like I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to do it. So we'll get there when we get there. But anyway, oh, I should talk about what I'm wearing. This is my alpaca by the Petite Knitter, and she now has a new name. Can't remember if it's Sorry and Co. I think it's the name of her little rabbit. I'm probably saying it wrong, but yeah, you can still get access to all her like patterns and stuff as under Petite Knitter. But this is actually from her Arctic Knits pattern book, which I highly recommend, you guys. This is the first pattern that I did out of it. It fits so well. I love it. I want to make another one, but I don't necessarily need the same pattern, but I love the like pattern of the sweater itself. So I would love to, that's why I'm actually really looking forward to casting on this one. It's right here. which I have all the yarn set aside for. And it is, let me give you the name of it. I think it's Arctica, or yeah, Arctica Jumper. So pretty. And I'm going to kind of makeshift my way to these. I'm going to add an extra color or two to, like, instead of being like double of, like, there's this red here, I'm going to be kind of subbing different colors in, and that's totally fine. I think it'll be fine. It's the same type of yarn, so I'm not concerned, and I'm excited to get that cast on at some point here soon. But I have been working on Habitation throw, and I am trucking along. Now that I'm at the point I really am kind of rushing through it, but not rushing like I have to get it done, but like just knitting so fast and crazy and furious. Like in the mornings I knit on it, in the evenings I knit on it, and I haven't taken lunch the past couple days so I could leave early because this weather is so nasty. I want to be driving when it's light outside if I can. So I've kind of made a way to do that, which is great. I appreciate that flexibility. But yeah, this thing is enormous. It's enormous. It's so big. I love it. I mean, look at this. It's huge. It's huge. I love it. And I'm literally, I'm here. This is where I'm at. So it is so close. So close. I'm gonna whack myself. I'm mid-row, but it's so close to being done, and I'm really excited. So this colorway was not from my wool swap from my buddy Robin in Canada. This one is actually from Emma's yarn, and it was from Emma's Advent, her small a day set from, I think it was 2021, maybe? It was from a while ago. And I had this left over in my little minis collection. And so I had used only about half of it. So I used the other 10 grams here. And then I'm using my Odette colorway. So I figured out a solution to a slight predicament that I kind of talked about last time. And I am going to do a little different than I talked about. So I've been alternating colors. Now, this is that gray. You can see where it's so close to this Odette color. Like, it almost looks like it's just a variation. But this is a gray, and then this is my Odette. So, interesting thing is my Odette colorway, I am almost done with it. And when I say I'm almost done with it, this is kind of becoming a knotted mess. But this is all I have left of my second skein of Odette. And I have this much left of the blanket, which is not a lot, but I don't think I'm going to have enough left to finish it. So what I think I'm going to do is, well, I have two options. I could either like join another color basically now and do that, and then when I'm almost done, do just a teeny tiny bit with the gray. It's risky because I could still run out of the gray. And that's why I don't think I'm going to do it that way. So that was initially what I was going to do. But what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to continue with this Odette until I get near the end. And then I will join a color to this Odette colorway. And then I will finish off the blanket with that color. So the interesting part is I am actually finishing the blanket with a color versus the Odette gray. And the thing is, even though that's kind of breaking pattern in a sense, it's going to be in pattern, but it's breaking pattern because I started with Odette. So here we go. So I started with Odette here. So I wanted to finish with Odette originally, but then that's kind of fun because then I know which side I started with. It's kind of hard to just know that otherwise. So I guess this will be a way that I'll know, like, day one was here, and then my last day is at the end. So that'll be a way I can kind of keep track if I hang on to the names of the colorways and the brands, because I think I mentioned this, but this was a wool swap advent with Robin out of Canada, and what she did and what I did is we just took random minis and such that we had in stash, and then we swapped them with each other. And if we knew, we would put like the name of what like the color was, the like base, and the brand, like whoever dyed it. And so that's the thing. It's like I wouldn't know, and because I actually labeled them, so ever I still have the rings, the bands, and I put the number that correlated with it on there. So then I would know by counting the stripes, like which one matches the band, if that makes sense. I hope it does. Um, does it really matter? Will I ever check again? I don't know. I might not. But then again, there's a couple in here that I just absolutely adored knitting with. And they were super, super soft bases. Like an interesting blend. Like this one has a really high percent of merino in it, higher than the usual. And I thought that was interesting. And there's a couple really beautiful colors in here too that I'm quite inspired by. So I would love to check out like what that indie dyer dyes up, because I think they're just absolutely gorgeous and right up my alley. These are definitely up my alley. So it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. It's really fun, and I really appreciate that you guys are excited about it too. And I do. I really like having the alternating colors and being consistent with one main colorway. I think it really does. Just, I don't know, it gives it a cohesiveness. Um, yeah. So, like I said, I'm almost done. I'm very excited because this is so cozy and big and wonderful. And I just have this little bit left, this little bit. And then once I get these needles off, because I need these needles, these are they're Knit Picks. Yeah, the Knit Picks Majestic Foursquare, because I want to work on my woodland fern hat. I know I've showed you guys this a million times, but it's so pretty with the lace work, and I'm still where it was the last time I showed it to you. So I've just got that band done, because at this point I need to change my needle size. And I feel like it's funny when you go through projects that are as big as this and then you move to like a hat, it goes so much faster. I feel like I'm gonna fly through that hat so fast, which is totally fine. I'm excited because I would love to have a new little winter hat. I kind of would love to make a winter hat each winter, but yeah, I have a couple beautiful patterns that I was able to snag because they were doing really great sales. I do not know Robin's secret. Robin, if if you want to share your secret, I'd love to know. She finds wonderful patterns for free. Not that I have a problem paying folks for their work, that's for sure. But I buy a lot of patterns, and getting free ones once in a while is really nice score. Especially with our budget going on right now. Like I really want to not be spending money. So this is, I will not say this correct. However you say that, beanie, Sicabos, I don't know, the Benjamin Matthews designs. It's really pretty. That's another really nice beanie, and that has like a slip stitch design on it. That one's really pretty too. But I wanted to do the fern hat. I think it's gonna be so pretty. I'm excited. So yeah, that's what I've been working on this week. I've really been working on my habitation throw. I did do some spinning. I have day 9 currently plying. I'm plying it. I'm like this close to finishing my plying. I wanted to finish it before I went on here to show you guys, but I didn't want to. We have a lot of things I got to get done. It's currently Thursday night, and I need to get we need to get wood moved and all kinds of chores done. So I cannot do the spinning at the moment, but I am excited that that one is almost done, and it's beautiful. I'm looking at it right now, and it's really pretty. So I'm excited because then once I'm done with all of those, I can make sure and check my yardage, which I need to double check that. Like I said, I don't know if I'm measuring it correctly. I don't know why I have such a struggle figuring out the yardage of my hand spun. I don't know what's so hard about it. I know I'm probably making it more complicated than it needs to be. I measure my nitty natty, I multiplied it by 2. I think that's what you're supposed to do, and then you take that and multiply it by, I don't know, the wraps. If you are a pro at measuring the yardage of your hand spun, please share your knowledge in the comments. I know others, but definitely myself would truly appreciate that. It is a learning curve. That way I get the best understanding for my yardage, because I want to get the biggest bang for my buck. I would love to make something that utilizes the majority of this hand spun. This is all from that Melly Knits Advent out of Canada. It's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. And I'm looking at a cowl pattern. I talked about it in a prior video, and it's really pretty with lace. It's a long cowl. But I feel like I might have too much yardage to do that, and I don't want to have a lot of extra. So yeah, we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. But excited because it's day 9 out of 13. So I am trucking along, getting that hand spun done. Again, not in a hurry. Very much enjoying it. It was such a treat. And I kind of figured I would be doing a lot of the spinning in January, which, you know, we're at the end of January here. So I probably will still be spinning into February, but that is awesome. I love it. And so February, I'll probably be doing my knitting with the hand spun, which is exciting. As well as this beautiful woolly rustic sweater by the Petite Knitter, and my hat. 3 projects, even though I have some waiting that I need to work on that I've started. But I'll get back to them. They have not been forgotten. Oh, in case you're wondering what I'm sipping on, I splurged. So I was gonna have tea, because I do love tea in the evening. I will still have tea tonight, but I actually made myself a mocha of sorts. I did a double shot of espresso, but it is a decaf espresso. So we're going on 5 o'clock. You do not need to have like high caffeine right now. So yeah, I've got double espresso in here, and then I've got some abuelita hot cocoa, which is so good. Drinking chocolate, like if you want a really good hot cocoa, it's in my foreign food section at my food store. I put about a tablespoon of that in here. Oh yeah, it's really decadent. And then I put a tablespoon of homemade hot cocoa in there, and I blended that together. And then if that wasn't good enough, I took some almond milk, heated that up in my milk frother thing, and I put about a cup of heated almond milk in here, and it is so good. It's so good. So I hope you are enjoying something cozy to sip on, or cool, depending on where you're at. If you're in a warmer climate, I'd say send it this way, but at this point, we would just be flooded with the amount of water if everything melted. So I prefer it just kind of do its thing, stay the way it is, kind of, not melt. That'd be good. All right, and as far as like what I'm up to right now, so reading, I'm gonna talk about my reading a little bit. I've been doing a little bit of reading here. I did not do a lot of reading this week, to be quite honest, and really I've been trying to do this every single day, and I've been exercising. This week has been a complete disaster because normally I try to exercise Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because Thursday I'm doing this, and then we've got chores and stuff, and it's really hard to fit in everything on a Thursday. However, this week, because of the weather being the way it is, it has been interesting, to say the least, because Tuesday it was so cold, like I said, so cold that by the time I got in the house after doing chores and everything, I was spent. And then yesterday, I did exercise though. I did exercise yesterday, but because I didn't take a lunch break at work, and I worked through that, I was exhausted. Like my body was exhausted. So I really hope that next week then I can get back on the train, because it feels really good. I've been doing like 15 minutes of exercise 3 times a week, and that has just felt so good. And I don't do like anything intense, just some basic things. We have like an elliptical um, and stretching, and I have some basic exercises that my physical therapist recommends for like my upper back and everything. because I work at a desk and it's awful on your posture. It's so terrible. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. So I didn't do a lot of reading, but I did do some, and I am getting through it. Let's see where I'm at here. Here we go. About here. So a little, almost at halfway, almost, not quite. Definitely over a quarter of the book though. This is so creepy, you guys. So this is Dracul. If you haven't seen my past videos, it's by Decker Stoker and J.D. Barker. And Josh Mellerman, the author of Bird Box, said it's scary as hell. It is creepy. It is wicked creepy. Don't get me wrong. Like, there are some parts in here that are really, really creepy. Yeah, it says that it's brilliant. Dracul pumps fresh blood into the vampire genre. It's weird to be reading this right now because you think this is kind of just an October read, but I started in October and I just failed. I did not make it a priority to read each day, and so since I've been doing more reading, it's really fun. I read for a little bit each day and I so enjoy it. I like getting into the world and I like the time period of this. This is written in, well, now it kind of jumps. It jumps around a little bit. So it goes to the future and then it goes back into the time. You're reading the journal of Bram Stoker, 1800s, you know, like fascinating stuff, you guys. Women in these long dresses. It's just fascinating. So really creepy, really creepy. I do not want to give too much away, but it is just, it is so creepy and interesting. And it is like the R.L. Stine said it was like reading a classic vampire film or watching a classic vampire film. Yeah, it is really, really creepy. And I love it. So I would say if you like creepy, this would be good. Now, it hasn't gotten, it got a little horrific there for a second. There was a pretty horrific scene described in here. Um, don't want to lie. So, but again, I'm just over a quarter of the way through it, so we'll see how it continues. And I will let you guys know. If you're not into horror, then I totally get it. This, to me, so far, this is not like horror. This is not like a, I feel like horror is a lot like blood thrillers kind of thing, like bloodbaths and gore for the sake of gore. And I don't get that impression from this book at all. It doesn't feel that way at all. This is definitely more along the lines of, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It's not exactly Hitchcock, but it kind of gives you a little bit of that, like, he's describing things and you're going like, is this really happening or did this really happen? It definitely is it's creepy, like really creepy. So I guess don't read this by yourself. That probably wouldn't be good in the dark. Like, don't read this by yourself in the dark unless you want to be really scared, because that will probably happen. But yeah, it's really, I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. So I'm gonna read that one right now, and then I'll get into some other fun books. I have no idea which one I'm going to gravitate towards. I will see. When I get there, I'll get there. I went from a romance to Dracul, which is like a thriller horror book. I'm all over the place, but it's fun. We have dark days. It's dark, it's dreary, it's creepy, it's winter. So I feel like vampires kind of works. It does kind of work. It really does. So if you're looking for a book to read right now, hard to find. Hard to find. When I bought, it's not hard in the sense that you could find it online. I had an extremely hard time finding this in my local bookstores. Like, I went to a bunch of local bookstores. I went to bookstores that are used bookstores. I went to like a bunch of different bookstores, and they didn't have it. Not only did they not have it, they like couldn't even find it. They like searched their web wherever they look for books. Maybe it's where they get their books from or what have you, but they could not find it. And I was like, well, I know it exists. I've heard multiple people talk about it. There's one young lady, I'm trying to remember her name. I think it's Darlene Desi, her YouTube. She talks about all kinds of books, and in the October time frame, she really talks about this one a lot, and she loves it, and she's read it pretty much like almost every October. So it's not a super difficult read. It's not hard to get into. I did really enjoy it, and it drew me in. So the way I found it, I think I went on to either Thrift Books. It was either thriftbooks.com or just like Google it on there and you'll see what you'll find. I got it used. I did find a used copy. Looks like it retails for $17. I got it for a deal. I cannot remember how much I paid for it because it's been a good like year or so. But it's a decent sized book. I mean, it's a good almost 500 pages. So it's a big book. But again, not super heavy. You can get into it. And if you like creepy and vampires and that time period, that 18th century, 18th century, 1870s, 18, let me see here, like it's early 1800s, early to mid, yeah, 1868, 1850s, like mid 1800s. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I love it. I love the way they talk. It's it's good. All right, I'm just gonna keep going with that. So I'll continue to update you as I make my way through it. I guarantee I will not be done with it by next week. I've probably got a good couple weeks left on it still. And then we have a vacation coming up here. So I will probably, if I'm still reading it, I will probably bring it on vacation with me. It's a really big book, but it is a paperback. So it's not, I mean, it's heavy. Kind of a weird one to take on vacation with me, though, I have to say. But I might do it. I might do it. I'll probably have to bring something to read on the plane anyway. So there you go. So what are you guys up to? Are you reading any good books? I'd love to hear about that. I've quite enjoyed, I don't know if you guys follow Fiber for the People. If you don't, she started a new podcast with her husband, and it's a book cast, I guess you call it. And I think it's called Good Books Lately, and it's really fun. It's fun. I enjoy it. They talk about a lot of books they're reading, and I truly enjoy it. So if you're kind of a book nerd, it's kind of a fun way to find out about fun new books or old books. They've read older books like The Shining, and it's actually kind of intriguing me to want to read it because I do like thrillers. I do like creepy, and yeah, it's supposed to be very different than the movie, so that's intriguing. I enjoyed the movie, but if it's different than the movie, I am intrigued. However, she did mention that it's hard to get into, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe if I find a really good deal at a used bookstore, I might try that book. But it's a big one. It's a big one. But what projects are you guys working on? I'd love to hear about that. I'd love to hear how that's going. I know a few of you are starting to work on a habitation throw. We're going to be doing a habitation throw. I'm excited about that. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't made one, you should try it. Especially if you're looking for something quite relaxing. I find it very relaxing. Okay, I think that'll be it for this week. Kind of a shorter video. Like I said, I have a lot I gotta get done. And yeah, we'll get there. Well, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take care.